You think you know about relationships, but you're wrong. Listen, there's no magic bullet. I'm teaching life skills.
When you're sick, you need medicine. It don't always taste good, but it'll get you better. You need this medicine. It ain't gonna always taste good, but this is what you need. Men and women, bottom line, we need to have the conversation. Your partner wants to give up control, but only if you know how to drive. This is about being the best you could ever be, whoever you are. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, LGBTQ, space alien. I'll save anybody. I don't care. I'll teach a hedgehog how to have a threesome.
What do you mean by that?
Look, you don't have to listen to me, but you're wrong.
Listen, I know I'm great. And I know you're thinking, Dante, there's no way I could be like you. But you could be me, you know why?
Because you know who I was? Before I was me, I was you.
Man score 202.
Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't. Yo, what up? GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? Sexual Revolution is being podcasted. I love y'all. We're just waiting for everybody to come in. A little music in the background. Let it run a little while. While people, how's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Phone lines is up. CashApp is up. Send me some money. What the deal? Good to have everybody in the building. It was a little touch and go today, but I got up. We actually were supposed to have Professor Dave up today, and we were going to talk about relationships in terms of instinctual and biological level. But we moved it back 2 weeks, so we're going to do that in 2 weeks, and I'm out of here. I'm heading out of the city tomorrow evening. Anybody want to check me out? I'll be in St. Louis tomorrow doing comedy at the St. Louis Improv. So check me out. Let me make sure the sound is good. Let me see what the deal. Who's in the building? Let's see who's in the building. Let's start from the top. Anthony Drassos in the building. Cyclops in the building. Many Faces in the building. Shout out the Wyatt Christian. Fish Bones in the building. Brian Lorenzo. What's going on? 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Your girl's box stink in the building. Mr. Sleek. Kevin the Maker reviews. Z&D Harmonies, what's going on? Everybody's in the building coming in. Yo, if I sound good, y'all know what to do. Give me a thumbs up. Make sure we going. Make sure we rocking. Just want to make sure that. Also, I'm waiting for the chat to fill up, but don't stop you, please. Phone line's open. Anything you wanna, any questions you have. I'm always talking about something. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about today. I'm glad. Thank y'all. Thanks, Cyclops. Thanks, Christian. Thanks, Mr. Sleek. Everybody hearing me loud and clear. How long I go today is how many questions I get. We definitely gonna do an hour. Bosstown Benny, what up? Isaac Studio in the building. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. The Cash App is up. Y'all know what it is. Send me some money. And PayPal's up. Phone number's up, 929-269-4922. It's an interesting thing. I always find it interesting. And I want all the fans and all the listeners to know. Oh, also like, and subscribe, and send it to somebody. Anybody that you think you need to help, they need to help. Please, please, please. Share this with them. Click down, drop button, and hit the share button, and share this with them. Everybody we know, we got somebody who's getting their ass whipped somehow, and they need the help. So, had a really good show on Tuesday. It was cool. I want to say this, and y'all can respond to this in the chat. I just don't want my aggressiveness about the truth to be something that's too much, or that it's taken it takes a toll, or people to misunderstand it. I want you to know that anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. Anybody can big shout to Theo. You're always coming through, Theo. $5 on the Cash App. Thank you, family. That's the way to start it. We ain't even minutes in, and the Cash App is busting wide open. Also, got a shout out to I don't think I shouted out Bassy, and Bassy sent me $11 last live, and Okello. I forgot to check that out, to shout y'all out, because I just want you to know that I appreciate whatever you do, however you help move this. It means a lot to me. Even if you're just sending it to somebody, I mean, I appreciate that. So whatever you can do, I mean, everybody's not, money ain't right or whatever. Kevin got a question. I have let me put that up so we can do that. Phone lines are up, 929-269-4922. And if you don't see it up, it's always running on the bottom. Kevin the Maker Review says, I have a question about my homegirl, actually. So she keeps falling for the same guys, but always gets heartbroken. Any advice for ladies like that? Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Kevin, real quick in the chat, just put down, is when you say falling for the same guys, you mean the same personality type? Could I assume that? I'm looking at the chat. Is that what we're talking about? Because a lot of the same problems that women have with men, the phone line's not up. Yes, it is. Hold on. Let me see. I just checked it. Hold on. Let me make sure the phones is up. Now I got to reboot them. Let's see. And I'll answer that question. 1 second. Let me see. Let me see if the phone line's up. Yeah. Phone lines is up, family. Call again. Let me put the number up for you. Kevin says, so what happens, let me put the number up for you so you can call again, but the phone lines are definitely up. I just checked them. Understand something. The same, I mean, we a lot of people, look, there are definitely differences in men and women. Anybody that tells you that's not the same, but understand something. There's something we call human behavior psychology, which is the study, which is the actual study of how human beings act. And the reason why they have a section of science where we study human behavior is because people do the same things. Everybody thinks that they're so different and special. And I'm not saying that people are not special, but what I'm saying is, as a whole, people who have the same physiology act the same way. We do the same things. So the same way that a guy will be into keeps picking toxic women, it's because it's what you're used to. So your homegirl either has a maybe the father's toxic, maybe the mother's toxic, maybe there's an abusive kind of situation in the home that or when I say abusive, I don't mean it doesn't have to be knockdown, drag out, fight type shit, but it could be just emotionally abusive, or people who don't support you, or people who don't tell you that you're loved, and all of those things. And so when you get those kind of, when you're accustomed to, it's up now, Boston Benny. It's up now. I just checked it. When you get a situation where those same your nah dog, it's up. I just rang it. Try it again. Um, it should ring and then the voicemail and then you give your name. So I just checked it. So shut up. Stop teasing people. Just fucking with them. The but when you're accustomed a certain level of abuse, or people not being supportive, or even you get accustomed to that, and so naturally what you do in any situation, what you do is you go out and you view these same, you set up those same relationships that you've had before. So if it's non-supportive relationships, or people who are not necessarily affectionate, and that's what you're accustomed to in your house, you tend to, first of all, what's crazy is that you date your parents. So if your father's that way, and even if your father's not around, it's a representation of how you see masculinity or how you see femininity. And then you approach the same people with those same characteristics over and over again, because what does it ultimately do? It makes you feel comfortable. You feel comfortable in terms of whatever you're used to. And so women pick the same guys over and over again, usually because they're dating their father in some way. Or at least the person that they find attractive is represented by masculinity or something. Somebody, uh, Boston Benny, call in, because wow, let me see. I did miss a call, so that's weird. Hold on. 617. Let me see. Boston, is Boston a 617 area code? All right, let me reboot the phone calls. Let me do that right now, so we could do that immediately. Let me get that. I apologize, because I sure checked it before we got. So give me a second. Look at me fixing things on the fly, like I'm a tech genius. Let me see. Let's get it. Yeah. So what will happen more often than not is we'll choose to pick the same characters, the same people. We pick them over and over and over again. And because we're not cognitive, and this is the thing, attraction is, whenever I say a woman doesn't know what she wants, her body does. And so her attraction is a visceral thing. Whatever feels comfortable, whatever she's accustomed. Hold on. Let me see. I just rebooted it. Try. You know what? Don't call. Let me call and make sure it comes up.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice.
Wow, it went straight up. I think this is me calling now. Wow. It's not showing. God damn it. All right, I think I'm gonna I gotta reboot it again. Sorry, guys. Let me see. Yeah. Let me reboot it. One more again. It's weird because it's working for me. So that's weird. No, it's not your number. If it didn't come through and it's not coming through in general, it's probably me. So let me just reboot it again. Put it on my second screen. All right, let's see. Give me a second. Boston Benny, give me a second. I'll tell you when to call when it's fully booted up. You know what? In fact, let me check it. You know what? We'll let you check it. All right. Benny, call now. Call now. Let me see what I got. Yeah. Do not disturb is on. What up, Liben? What's going on? Y'all trying to call? If you're dialing the number, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Whoever's dialing the number. There we go. There we go. Give me a sec.
To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's up? What's up? Where you calling from?
From Massachusetts.
What up? Is this Benny?
Yo.
What's going on, brother? How you?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Sorry about the phone acting up, but we got it doing. What's going? How can I help you, brother?
Glad I could help figure it out.
Yeah.
So I got a question about honesty and accountability, and I didn't want to put you on the spot, but I also want to use you as an example, because I feel like it'll maybe prove a point.
All right.
Been consulting for a little while. Yeah, I've been consulting for a while.
Okay.
And over the lives, you mentioned, people who have been consulting for a while were going to be grandfathered into an old price.
Yeah.
And then you also mentioned that over the phone to me, that like we don't have to worry about it because we've been chatting for a while. We developed a relationship, all that. But then the last time we spoke, you were like, no, you're going to be back in, the new, more expensive prices. And again, I don't want to put you on the spot, but at the same time, I felt like that isn't honesty or credibility, and it's definitely not putting your money where your mouth is.
Well, here's what I find. And the reason why I'll tell you why I didn't change that, why I changed it, because first of all, I have if you've consulted with me, right? How long have you? What have you? How many times have you consulted, and how many times have you? And how many times have you consulted with me?
I don't know. It's been probably the past a year or so.
No, I'm saying how many times? How many consultations have you?
6. I don't have the exact number.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Anytime you've talked to me, right? Have I ever, if you got a half hour, have I ever given you a half hour? Like,
no.
Have I ever been in a situation where I have said, oh, it's 29 minutes and 45 seconds?
Definitely not. No.
Okay, and how many times, and how long on an average, how much more would I continue the consultation?
They've often been loose conversations. We talk about things until we're sorted out,
right. So I don't, so whether or not you do the hour, now have you done the hour or the half hour?
I think usually like 15 or 30.
Okay. So if you do 15 minutes with me, a lot of times you'll get 45 minutes, sometimes a whole hour. Yes.
Not 15, but I know what you mean. Like, I
So
guys
what I'm
mentioned
saying is,
usually
so my thought was initially was to give it, and I've actually done that where I've given people the old price. I'm just not doing that anymore. Number one, I don't treat anybody who consults with me like I don't hold them to the. I mean, if you go to therapy and you go at 729, your spot. I don't do that, and I've never had somebody really go, "Hey, you gave me." Well, that's not true. I've had that happen once or twice where guys are like, "Man, I don't want." They'll say, "Well, what's your time? How much time have you?" They'll go. Sometimes they'll go, "Man, I know I'm way over time already, but such and such." But nobody's ever said to me, "Man, I'm way over time. Yo, let me send you $100. For the time that you took."
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is, as much as my situation is, so because of that, I think my time is valuable. I also don't get people don't always follow up. They don't follow up frequently, and my time is valuable. Not only that, but I think that the things that I give, what I give, is life changing. My model is not to keep you calling me forever, right? My model is to get you to a point where you don't have to speak to me. And I feel like I've done more than my share. I give the content away more than anybody else. Big shouts to Charlene. Thank you for the $25. And so what's interesting is the credibility. Now I have had guys go to me, "Man, you gave me a whole somebody called me up for 15 minutes and then I've given them an hour and 15 minutes sometimes." 3 times I remember somebody going, "Yo, well, I got more than it was worth." The credibility, my personal credibility is, wow, even though he's giving me this time, I'm gonna, let me pay for what I did. Have you ever done that?
Right. Well, I think like last time, I booked for 15. I ended up giving you 150. And like I think that's your 30-minute price. So, and also it's more of like I enjoy our conversations, and so it's more like a long term. Yeah, maybe
I understand that,
like,
Benny,
we'll
but
hit you
you understand that this
you.
is a business, right? And as much as I and I think if this is you, there's times when you have texted me when I'm with my family and I've got back to you. Yeah. Okay, so do you understand what I'm saying? If you want to talk about this in terms of what the line is, then okay, then I really need to, and you're saying you're not trying to call me out, but you are calling me out.
But at the same time, I'm a product, of being authentic. And
I got you. But even when there's a product of something else, you never said, as being a product of credibility, you never said, "This guy has given me abundance of more. I'm going to pay what it's worth." Have you ever
I'm
done?
definitely not doubting the product. I was just using that.
But do you
as an
understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To the same token, even when you've gotten an hour more, when it was something that was, you were in a funky place or whatever the fuck it is, and any of the consultations is it's done loosely because I want you to understand that I've gone through this and that you're not being weird or when you're insecure. But what I'm saying, if I'm putting this product out and the product is, when I go over, you should be like, "You know what, yo, I didn't think this was gonna be long enough. Let me send you the rest of that money." Right?
Yeah.
That would be fair, right? That would be credible.
That would be yeah. Yeah, I guess if you went 15 minutes over, we should give you whatever the 15 minutes.
Okay, and so why did it never? As much as you're talking about credibility, why wasn't that ever a thought to you?
Well, I guess just because it was. Yeah, I mean, I guess it wasn't. A thought. We never talked about that.
I don't. Yeah, but Benny, what we're talking about, when in any other position where somebody gives you an abundance more than what you pay for, when is that the case?
when someone gives you an abundance.
What I'm saying, if you pay something for something, you get what you pay for, right? You don't expect more than what you get, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
But if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do, if we really talk about credibility, I've never stopped you and said, yo, we've been 40 minutes over, a half hour over. Yo, you gonna hit me? Have I ever done that to you?
No.
I know
No.
I didn't. I know it's no,
No.
because I've never done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. No, definitely not. And,
So, and Benny, you know what your situation was. What I would ask you, is it worth where you were when I met you till now where you're at?
Like I said, I don't doubt product.
But then
or
I don't get
anything,
what you're talking
but-
about. I think there are fucking dirtbags and charlatans that do all kinds of shit and nobody gets help and stuff. There's hundreds of thousands of guys that I've changed their life. And I think this is what I'm worth. In fact, I think I'm worth more than that. Because of the fact that when I get a guy and he's 17, I consulted with him in 2017 and he comes to see me as, man, look at this is my fiance and da-da-da-da. And it's all because of you. I think it's worth more than that.
Yeah.
I'm really, and now for sure, from this point on, when it comes to the 29th minute, I'm gonna shut it down. Because to question that and question my credibility in this, when you never question your credibility, and when you specifically had situations where you were feeling funky, you texted me and asked me questions and never even thought about the fact that this is a business. I have a child overseas. This is how I pay for every part of this, the equipment. And so when I
want this to be a defensive conversation, Dante.
It is. I'm not mad, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm throwing the ball up, and you can, hit it back. You don't have to slam it back.
No. I'm not slamming it back. My question is this: if you're talking about credibility, all that I've given you for free, you should be like, as a man, my credibility is so important that let me make sure I take care of that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And you didn't do that. You didn't do that, and I never even said anything to you about it.
Never did.
I just raised my prices. That's all.
Right. I always thought, it was a long-standing, like I said, I respect and have always enjoyed the conversations. I always walk away with, I don't know, like I said, I think the product and your personality and all that is great, and I value that, and I think everybody else in the program, could, does too, or not the program, but
but Benny, how is this not calling me out? If
I just wanted to be honest, man, because if I'm not being honest based off,
I want you to be honest, but you can't expect me. You're being honest, and when I'm being honest with you back, then you're taking it as I'm you threw the ball up and I'm slamming it. I'm not slamming it. I'm just saying there's multiple times where if we really wanted to, you took advantage of the situation. You didn't ask for it, but you were in a funky place, and I could tell you weren't out of it, and you were feeling a certain kind of way. And so I just figured it warranted more because I want to see you win. Right. So to do it and then to do this on air. Come on, dog.
Not cool.
I mean, I don't know. You think it's cool? I mean, I would ask this.
I didn't want to message you. I didn't want to bother you otherwise. So.
Yeah, but you know what? Even if you had messaged me, but you didn't want to message me because you didn't want to pay to speak to me, which is also a situation. No,
because I didn't want to bother you, so I called you on the line.
You can't. We can't. You're not. I mean, this is what I do, but what I do, I think it is worth what I. In fact, I think I'm undercharging for what I do in consultations. Way undercharging. I genuinely, and I don't think you would deny this, that I genuinely, from the first time that we talked, I genuinely wanted you to be okay.
100%.
And I never did this with this thing where I was like, oh, it's 15 minutes, 14 minutes and 39 seconds. Let's get it shut down. And I'm not mad because, it's a fair enough thing. I opened my mouth and said it. But when I feel like, here's the thing. I think you have to be, credibility and honesty of this is you have to have a balance. And I've said this to you specifically about your ex, right? Your ex was absolutely, without getting into details, because I want to blow your shit up, but she was absolutely selfish and did things that were deliberately nasty and mean, right?
Yeah.
And you were still giving her the benefit of the doubt, not giving him. But I'm gonna give you what I get. And I'm not saying we have any problem, Benny, but like I've gone, especially with you, I've gone above and beyond every time you've called.
And I didn't, I just wanted to, maybe I didn't. Yeah, I wanted to.
I'm not mad, Benny. I'm not bad. And if you feel as though, if you feel as though it's funky and I'm making you feel awkward and you don't want to consult, I totally get that too. But I'm also saying, where was the credibility when every time that you consulted with me, I don't believe there's ever been a time that I haven't gone 15, 20, 35 minutes over what you paid for.
Yeah, no doubt.
And not one time did you go, damn, shit, I'm looking at the clock. That's, and I've had that happen. I've had guys where they was like, yo, my bad. Yo, let me PayPal you the extra. And if it was somebody this was their first shot and I was just trying to, get them on, I was trying to get them on track, I gave him a squat. If it was a young dude that didn't have a job, I've done that too. But this is kind of ill. And you can't say that you didn't try to call me out. I mean, we're literally airing our personal laundry. And I'm not, I mean, if we've done 8 consultations, you probably got 12, 15, maybe, with the extra time.
Right.
And now you wanna you're splitting hairs about a couple $100.
It wasn't that. It was just trying. It was just about like when being honest. Was it if I felt this way?
I get it. I get that you felt that way, but I bet you had no idea what. There's also empathy, right?
True.
So did you ever think about how I felt about the fact that you made us think about the price change, right? When I had given you so much more. But I didn't act funky to you. I didn't change my mode. I didn't care less. I didn't give you, I didn't stretch you out and not give you the answer. Something I just gave it to you, right?
Right. Yeah.
I never even said anything to you. I didn't even go, hey, Benny, blah, 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 blah. Yo, we go over, I mean, da-da-da-da. I was out on a date and you were texting me questions. And how many times? It's only recently that you text me questions where I just didn't answer.
Right.
And then when I didn't answer, you was like, oh, wow, And then when we spoke, you said, oh, this is kind of, I feel like maybe I overstepped. And I was like, nah, dude, it's cool. Whatever. And I just said to you, well, from this point on, the prices is going up. Because it's because people do what they want to do. If you're not a dude, if you don't, and I'm not saying you believe this, but if you don't see value in it and you don't see that the credibility goes both ways, and you didn't go for every minute I went over, every 15 minutes, every half hour that I went over, you was like, let me make sure this dude gets this money because he has helped me in ways that nobody has ever helped me in my life. You literally could have still been married to this bitch as a placeholder. Because she didn't give a fuck about you. And how many dates have you gone on and had where you a plethora of options?
Oh, we broke up for a second.
I said you literally have a plethora of options. Right?
Yeah, and that's because of you.
And it comes easy, right?
Yeah, man. It's been a life-changing experience, you know?
Okay, so I'm just
100%.
It just feels like you nickel and diming me when your life has been changed from this experience.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Which is exactly the reason.
I already mentioned that.
Huh?
Like I said, I don't want to.
Benny, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I get it. I get that you didn't see that, but you understand what I'm saying? You're looking for credibility when you didn't have credibility. And I can't tell you how many guys who have done the same thing to put myself out there 100%, half hour, this, that, the other, even when I'm not supposed to answer the text messages and things that when they're in a bind, quick question, da. And you know what I'm saying? I keep it fast and free and loose. But when I'm, and then all of a sudden it's just you have to understand from my point, if you were me, what would you say?
In your position?
Yeah, if you were me and you in this situation.
Well, I mean, it would be tough just because it's like, well, you know what? I told you this one thing, so I'll just roll with it because that's just, because I said it, and so I guess that's what comes to mind. But and maybe having a conversation, being like, yo, if I go over, or X, Y, Z, and that kind of thing.
But I didn't put you in a funky position like that because you did what you wanted to do. If you feel as though that I helped you, right? Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you just go, yeah, man, I went over. Why wouldn't you do that? It's not for me I can't twist your arm and here's the thing. Here's the thing, Benny, and you know this.
Yeah.
Yes, Shay, we will go on in a minute. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, but I still won't throw it up in your face. If you did a consultation with me tomorrow, I still wouldn't do it. Okay?
I know, man. And I didn't, as mentioned, I didn't want
It's fine. I really want to move on too, because everybody else is in the chat going, Yeah. Okay?
All right, man.
All right, man. Yeah. Later. Thank you, Shay. I appreciate you. I thank you so much. And you're right. It is a circular concept. But I mean, this is a good point. Now that we're talking about it, it's you have to. Yes. Should you move with kindness? Yes. Should you move with generosity? Yes. But when it's not reciprocated, it should stop. Thank you, Shay. I appreciate you. It should stop. It absolutely should stop. This, and I would say this to anybody. If you're in a situation where you shout out to Xavier, thank you for the $5, bro. In any situation, if you're not into the things you feel as though it's not reciprocated, like I don't ask people for something because people understand this. People will do what they want to do. This is the same thing that we're talking about in dating. If you're dating somebody and somebody's initial, people will initially just do what they want to do. But everybody's not as generous. Everybody's not as thoughtful. And I'm not talking about, this is not about Benny specifically, but I'm saying people's constitution is just not that way, right? But you gotta also understand that sometimes people do not have the emotional maturity to look to spin it around and look at it their way. And you don't really you don't hold them, like you can't be mad at them because of the fact, and sometimes just people don't see it. But to the same token of not seeing it, right? Not seeing it, then make ultimate. This is a principle. It's interesting how no matter what we talk about, it goes back to the same principles. The principle is don't give ultimatums, make ultimate decisions. Shit, why can't I see this fucking thing? Hold on. God damn it. Why is it not coming up? Fuck me. Hold on. Shit. I don't know why it's not coming up. Damn it. I just gotta reboot these phones again. God damn. Hold on. Ah, shit. It's giving me such a fucking hard time. I don't know what the deal is. Whoever does that call, I'm gonna reboot and I'll tell you when you can call back. Come on. Damn it. All right. Let's see. Get it again. Yeah, but it's a situation. Sometimes it's just people don't have the ability to see from your perspective, so you don't get mad at them because of it. You don't get mad at the person because they don't always see it. What you do is you can just adjust yourself. If somebody's going to be unkind to you, right, then then what you got to do is you just got to adjust yourself. You got to adjust yourself. Damn it, why the fuck is this me such a goddamn hard time? Jesus. Hold on. Jesus Christ. So it has to go to everything. Things have to go two ways. Got to go two ways. And if it's not going two ways, then you can, we can have a conversation. And sometimes you don't even have to have a conversation. It's like I've said this y'all have heard me say this 100 times. If you're calling somebody and they're not returning the call, what would I in the chat? I'm looking in the chat right now. What would I say? If you're calling and the woman is not interested or the man is not interested, what do I tell you? Do I tell you to call and say what happened? What happened? What's going on? Is it what you've been doing? I've been calling you. Do I ever say that? Never. Let me call this number real quick. Make sure it comes up. That's just not something I would tell you to do because people's actions, most of the time, people's actions will tell you how they feel about you. It's just a natural course of events, Okay. All right. So the phones are back up. Thank y'all for your patience. I think I'm doing pretty good with this too, where I'm shutting it down. Phone lines are open. So in essence, I'm saying just people, GOM, thank you, brother. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Let me get back to that too. It says, I still remember what you told me about teaching people how to treat you. Every now and then I find myself having to go back to the basics. You gotta, let's see, we got this call. Come on, let's see come on, work with me. And I also say you shouldn't be mad because common sense ain't common. Sometimes people's code is different. Shit. I don't know. You can call back. The lines are up though. I don't know why I cut off. Call back. But I think there's a situation where I wonder if I can call that number back. You know what? Yeah, let me do that. I'm gonna call you. Let's see if this phone is working properly. See if I can call back. No, I can let me do it. Call back again, fam. Maybe. Let me see. Bam. Let's see if that works. No. That's 617 area code. Call me back, please. Sorry. But what I say all the time is don't. Yeah, we're coming. Thank you. Here's the call right here. Come on. What the hell? Mouse is acting up. Shut down too. Try one more time. Shit. Hold on. See if I get it. This fucking phone is acting up. Everything's acting weird today. My mouse is jumping around. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's see. I don't know what the heck is going on. Mouse is jumping around. Hello? Hold on. Yeah, that's not coming up. Yeah, it's not coming up. Shit. Is that the 617? Oh, it's calling. Let me see. Hello? Hello? Yeah, not really. Call me back. Call me back. Let me shut this call down. All right, call me back on the line. Same line. It was really low. But I'm sorry, I'm distracted because I'm trying to get this technical stuff. What I'm saying is just you don't ask people, you don't ask people to be who they're not. You got to deal with them on where they're at. I always say when you buy a house based on what the estimate is. Why is this not ringing? This is weird. God damn it. Roadcaster Pro Trap. Chat. All right. Let's try one more time. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me try this one more time. Let me call and reboot. See if we can get it right today. I apologize, y'all. Hope this works. It's weird. It's not working. You hear me? Shit. Not seeing nothing.
Yo.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, cool. What's up? Where you calling from, family? Can you hear me? Hello? Let's try one more time. Shit. You know what? Let me reboot this motherfucker one more time. God damn. Give me a second. Y'all. Let's try one more again. Yeah. All right. There we come on. Let's go. Shit. Let me boot the phones up again. Yeah, I do need to say blame Harry. Harry's supposed to come on today, and he got tied up. Harry, if y'all can send Harry a message. Harry's grandfather is like 99 years old, and he's having a rough time. I mean, everybody at 99 years old. All right, the phone line's up. You can call now. Let me put the number up. Yeah, Harry's having a rough time with his dad and shit. Stream. No, I'm not using Streamlab. I'm using something else. But everything it should be working now. I want to test it, but not if anybody calls in and he can't get it, just make sure you'll hit me in the comments. In the comments, let me know. So when I'm just there it is. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on. Yes, sir.
To accept, press 1.
What's up, family? Sorry about that.
Hey, what's up? All good, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm going. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, this is Rashid, man.
What up, Rob? How you doing, bro?
Yesterday we had a
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah. Dope.
Yes, sir, man.
How'd that work out?
Still well, I guess it depends on what we talk about. So, first of all, let me just take a step back, man, because there was one thing that you said that kind of resonated with me in the beginning when you started, man, about how sometimes you can come across and, like how you can come off as aggressive, but it's because of how much you care and how much you're trying to help.
Yeah.
Because I experienced that myself, and I can say for a fact that you really do give a shit. And, like that aggressiveness that I got was, and that honesty that you gave me and that you kind of forced me to have was like a splash of cold water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's just what it is. And you just got to deal with that and work past it and just man the F up. You know what I'm saying? Our last call, which was yesterday, was different because I think you could see that I was trying to be honest and just trying to be straight up with you. And
well,
so
also let me give you your props. You called up on the live, right? And you bared your soul in front of some real, some strangers, Now, don't get me wrong. I got some of the greatest fans in the world, man. And I've cultivated them in a way that I'm not going to let you come on here, right? Bare your soul, right? And have motherfuckers shitting on you because you may not be in the same place that they are. Do you understand?
Yes.
Like I have, there's nothing that y'all have gone through collectively just about that I haven't gone through. I've had girls cheat on me. I've had girls lie. I've had girls be abusive, unappreciative and stuff. And so my ability to navigate this stuff is a gift to you.
Yes, sir.
So, and I understand. I'm gonna let you talk because I want to hear what you got to say because it's just I want you to understand something too. I also know how painful it is when you're going through this. You have no guidance. You have no masculine figure to kind of sort it out. You have nobody to say, okay, you understand that something's wrong, and you don't even have somebody to help you move forward. So you're in the shit, right? With no ladder, no way. The walls are too high. You're scratching your way out. Like, I understand what that kind of desperation feels. And for me to come and go, look, man, we can fix this. I understand you're upset. I understand this, but I got you. But if I got you, you gotta do what I'm telling you to do. Otherwise, this situation will be the same situation. You got to understand something. Motherfuckers don't really. It's crazy because we're talking about prices and consultations and stuff. You got no choice. I'm gonna tell you right now. Anybody who's thinking about the consultation or don't think so, it's too much or it's not too much, or I'm gonna fix it myself. I'm gonna tell you something. If you want to change that, you got no choice. There's nobody else doing what I do. Nobody has the experience. Nobody's gonna tell you to be it to your face, and people don't give a fuck.
Facts.
So you had a and this is the thing, and I'm like, I really don't want to put myself. Somebody said I put tariffs on the consults. Shut up, Isaac. So
That was good.
so send me some money. So
yes, sir. So
but-
I just wanted to give. So I mean, starting off, I just wanted to give you your props because that when you said that in the very beginning, I don't know where that came from, and I really don't need to know, but I just wanted to speak to my personal experience and give you your props because again, that was just like a splash of cold water, bro, and I needed it.
But you weren't really the one that I was going. I mean, I'm sorry if you thought I was being hard on you. I wasn't being hard on you. It was the next caller.
No, not at all. I mean, it was, but at the same time, it was needed. It was warranted.
Right.
Yeah, so
Because here's
a bad thing.
while I was
I'm giving you your props.
Go ahead. Do you think? I'm gonna let you talk.
Oh no, I'm sorry, and no, I wasn't even trying to cut you off. I just wanted to make sure it's clear to you, and make sure that whoever is listening, like, I'm giving props, like just that whole thing resonated with me because I dealt with that myself,
right?
And I easily could have been like, man, this is too much, and I got to move on. Nah, man, like, because like as you were kind of being stern with me, like I still realized, and just through your actions, through your words, that like you really do give a shit.
Yeah,
so that's really what resonated with me more than anything else, and that's why I still tap in on the lives, the content, and tap in with you personally. So I just wanted to give you your props as far as that's concerned. I did have a couple of questions.
Yeah, go ahead, go.
First of all, like what I'm saying, like that just resonated with me, so I just wanted to speak to that. So we talked yesterday, first day, today, laying the 5 bricks,
right?
And I guess I had a couple questions regarding that as well as one other. So as far as the 5 bricks, because I know you had talked about phase 2, what exactly designates phase 2? Is that something that
I'm not even going to talk to you about that. I'm not even going to talk to you about that. Right. And I'll tell you why I'm not going to. I don't want to talk to you about it because what it does, talking about phase 2 undermines phase 1.
Okay.
And I'll explain to you why specifically. Like, first, this is your first day. How did your first day go?
It went well. I laid all 5. There was only one, which was the very last one, where it was just said something nice about somebody's hair, and like she just kind of walked past me, and at that point I was just like, whatever. Like,
okay, but here's what I'm saying to you, right? When you say I was only one, what you're saying is you whether you say whatever, it ain't whatever. As much as you want to you want to perceive it as whatever. What I'm saying is that this is a blow to your ego, especially if the responses from the other 4 were better, which is exactly why I'm not talking about phase 2. Because here's what you have to do. You have to lay the 5 bricks to the point where it really doesn't matter. And that's just not going to happen in the first day. It's just an impossibility for that to happen in the first day because we're programmed to kind of be the response. And what has to happen is you're going to, the first thing you realize is I know it's a frightening, it feels like a really difficult thing to do, that it's frightening, right? Initially. Yeah,
absolutely.
So here's the thing. Why is it frightening? It's frightening because you think that you're going to be rejected. There's a possibility that somebody could cuss you out, or you could end up in a situation. Maybe you get smacked. I don't know what's in your head as far as the fear of this, right? But what I do know
right.
is that when you do what I'm telling you to do in the way that I'm telling you to do it, I'm not saying it's not possible for some chick to jump out the window, but what I'm saying, it is so improbable that somebody jumps out the window. Sure, there's a possibility that the woman may not respond, right? And because you have self-esteem problems, right? This is what we do. We make it about, because she didn't respond, we make it about ourselves. I'm not handsome enough. I'm not tall enough. I don't have the right car. I don't this. Now, let me ask you something. And this is great, because this is kind of how I would handle this. Let's say this woman that you first of all, let me say you're 100%. If you did the 5 bricks and just paid the compliment, you are A+, right? But the fact that you got responses and people said thank you or whatever, you are way beyond A+, right? Because I didn't ask you to get a response. What did I specifically say is that you don't have to get a response, right?
Right.
So if you got 4 out of 5 responses, you way ahead of the game, but I don't want you to focus on that, because once you start focusing on the responses, then you're not focusing on the things that I'm telling you to do. Here's the other thing. I don't care what you think it is. You cannot be a human being and be rejected and it not affect you. The point is that you can rationalize yourself beyond that. But here's the real kicker. Let's say this woman found out that she had cervical cancer a half hour before you paid a compliment to her hair, right? Would you expect her to respond to you in any particular way or in a happy way?
Well, absolutely not.
Okay. So let's say she had breast cancer, right? Would you expect that to be for her to respond?
No.
Okay, let's do it even something mundane. Let's say she let's say she says Dwight, I can reveal the secrets for free because ain't nobody gonna do what I tell them to do. So that's why I give game. I give away straight game. Let's say, for instance, she got stung by a bumblebee, right? And then you said, "Wow, I love your hair," and she didn't respond, right? Is that possible? Is that possible that could have happened?
Very possible, yeah.
Okay, bumblebee. What about a honeybee? Possible?
I mean, I suppose, yeah.
What about an African bee? Do you know that there's 2,000 different species of bee? I've looked it up, right? She could have got stung by any one of that 2,000 and it would have had nothing to do with you, right?
Right.
What if she got bit by a spider, right? You would also. What if her grandmother died? What I'm saying, there is an infinite number of reasons why she didn't respond to your compliment, right? And that could have overtaken her ability to just be kind enough or to hear you in the way, with the sincerity in the way that you complimented her. But because of your insecurity, what do? What you do is you make it about you. It must have been because I'm not good enough. I'm not handsome enough. I don't have the right job. I'm not good enough. She didn't like me. She don't like my nose. She don't like my hair. I'm not cool, smooth. And don't get me wrong. It could be, that is possible. It could be that, right? But what's the probability of it being that when there is an infinite other things that could have happened that made her not respond back? So I want you to see how
bees alone on top of everything else.
We just go with bee stings alone. That's 2,000 reasons. I put it in that context because do you realize how absurd it is for you to take that personal? It is
very much
ridiculous. Because what if her cat died? What if it was her parakeet? What if it was her? I mean, again, we could go an infinite amount of ways in which this could end up where she just didn't respond because you said, man, I really like your hair. You understand?
Right. Yeah, I got you, man.
And so you have to, and this is why I don't talk about the second phase, that we got to get past the first. And I guarantee you, maybe 10 to 20% of the people who actually listen to the show, maybe 10 to 20% of them actually execute the 5 bricks. And it's literally life-changing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got plenty to teach you. I got plenty more. I got pages of shit to teach you. And even when I teach you, then I got to teach you the nuance. And then I got to teach you to be able to read the situation so that you know what to do in the particular situation. So, you know what I'm saying? I could give away the game. You can't do it without a coach. It's like, it would be like you trying to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on your own. Without practicing, just reading out of it just don't. This is why I've always hesitated on doing a male, a male program, like a online program, because it just feels better for me to have hands on so that you don't pick up. Now, I am working on an online class where it gives you the foundation with just the basic foundation. But even that is difficult to do, to get it to a place where it is the base, where it has to be foolproof so that you can't do what I'm telling you to do and then pick up bad habits.
Right. Or stray from the course.
Yeah.
I got you.
Because it's important.
Absolutely. No.
And here's the thing: if you stray from the course and then you get say you did the wrong thing and you didn't follow the directions, and then you get a bad situation, right? You get a bad response. It could send you back into the tailspin where you don't lay the 5 bricks anymore. I've seen that too. Guys have one bad experience, or sometimes they don't even have a bad experience. They just get scared. They just get scared on their own. It could be going well, and they get scared and they back out, and then they're back. But understand something. You don't got no, look, I only hope that people understand, but you ain't got no choice but to get the consultation, DanteNero.com, click on consult, one-on-one. If you want this shit to change, you're going to have to talk to me. Nobody else teaches it. Nobody else does it. You can't do it on your own. I don't care who it is. No, I don't care. I mean, even as much as, like, I love Harry. Harry can get you to a place, but there's so much above that. There's so much nuance above that. You ain't got no choice.
I got that. And so I totally understand that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. I guess more so my question was, like, if it was determined based off of a decision that I made, or what I thought it was a decision based off of numerous conversations with you, to where you make the decision, or us together make the decision. So
I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean exactly. When you talk, what part are you talking about?
As far as entering phase 2, and
I'm not even going to talk to you about phase 2.
Yeah, and I got that. So that's all good. That just comes with time. I'm not even sweating it. My next question, which I'm not sure if you can answer, is what happens, like, if I were to bump into somebody that I had previously laid the 5 bricks with, like, let's say at the gym.
Okay.
I mean,
what are you asking me?
Like, so if I bump into this person that I've laid the 5 bricks with, maybe, I don't know, like, let's say a week ago or something like that, and we're vibing or whatever, like, at that point, can I grab the number? Can I kick it? Or
look, let me explain something. So and this is why I don't do an online course. If you're laying the 5 bricks, you laying the 5 bricks is separate from anything else you do. You understand? So if you got somebody you getting some is on the roster and she's hitting you off or whatever, or somebody that's do whatever. what I'm dealing with, because here's the bottom line. Anything that you got going on, and this is no offense to you or anybody else, you gonna fuck this up. Here's why you gonna fuck it up. You gonna fuck it up because you ain't ready for the Super Bowl. So even if you get like, I've had dudes who laid the 5 bricks and got laid by accident. And they'd be like, well, that's such and such and such. One of my little shorties, he was laying the 5 bricks and he ended up getting, this chick liked him and whatever, and he got a girlfriend now. One of my young boys. And I was like, and then he just stopped laying the 5 bricks. And I was like, this is gonna go to shit. I don't care. Look, even if you got a girlfriend, you should be laying the 5 bricks. Because the social aspect of it, you're also building. Like, first of all, you're not going to lay the 5 bricks and get laid. It's possible. It's just not probable. What you're building is your own. You're building your ability to be honest, because the compliment has to be honest. You're going past your fear of speaking to people, right? You're removing you're recognizing by doing this, the fear and the misconceptions you have about women, that moves away because of the fact that you see that the pretty women, they respond the same way to unattractive women. You can have a 60, 70-year-old woman and they all respond the same. Do they not?
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, they do.
And so, but you wouldn't know that if you didn't do this process. You don't know how to be honest. Yes, I'm not saying you're a dirtbag where you're conniving and you're malicious, but you will lie if it means getting into a confrontation, and you will lie if you think you're going to hurt somebody's feeling, and you will lie if you don't want to, because you don't want to be in no trouble. You don't want to make no trouble. You don't want to make waves. One of my good friends that I've counseled him for years was there's a thing I call, it's a technique I call is time travel. Basically, you take a girl out for the first date and you transfer, you move the date from multiple but even that, like, there's nuance to that. And if you don't get your confidence where you are willing to fail, because you're going to fail. You're going to fuck this up. I don't care who you are. You're going to fuck it up. But once you have acquired a certain skills and first of all, you got to get rid of the fear. Like, so imagine you're having these insecurities and stuff like this, and all of a sudden you get this beautiful girl, and then she likes you and you like her. You talked about it on air. You fucked it up. Why? Because you like this chick. Right.
Yep.
So you didn't think you had any value. You thought she was doing you a favor. Now, I could tell you I could tell you what your value is. I could tell you that you're going to give more than you get back. I could tell you all of that. But you're not going to believe me. You don't believe me? Okay, so it's you know what I'm saying? It's deeper. There's a reason why I do it the way I do it, and I want everybody to understand. Anybody who's not doing the consultation, anybody who's not listening to the content, anybody who's not on the Patreon getting that extra, you're going to fuck this up. You're going to make mistakes, and even look, don't get me wrong, I make mistakes. The difference is my mistakes are not mistakes. It's a little bump in the road that I just make an adjustment to.
Okay. We all human. Absolutely. Yeah. I got you though.
Yeah.
But obviously more experienced, more mature. I got you, man. I got one more question.
Real quick.
And then yeah, absolutely. So speaking of that whole situation that you brought up with Shorty, and how I kind of messed that up, and we had discussed like pretty much the approach moving forward, which is pretty much flip the chessboard and just wait.
I'm not even telling you to flip. I'm just leave the chessboard where it is and walk away. So did she call back? Did she hit you back?
text, but I just waved that off.
Okay. When she calls you, then we have what's in plan. You know what to do
Right.
when she calls. Yes.
I bet. And so, and I guess probably silly.
I'm curious.
question,
What
but
was the text? What was the text message?
Just small shit, nothing crazy.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. It's stringing you along so she still gets validated by the attention without even really dealing with what happens. And trust me, you're going to get a call, because as much as you think you're insecure, she's insecure too. She wants to know that she matters, like everybody. And I'm not just saying about her, but women want to know that they matter, even when they don't want you and they dumping you. They want to know that they're dumping you, but you still want them. And when they don't have that closure, like I teach guys, I say closure is for bitches. Like when you talk about closure, what you're talking about is I want somebody to actually verbally tell me that I'm not good enough. Otherwise, I'm not going to believe it. And then I get this. She liked my Instagram post and she was looking at my story. You nigga, look, if she just it's just like consent. Consent is not, she looked like she wanted it. You got to get consent. So if she's not saying it, don't assume that it's being thought.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Go ahead, real quick.
Nah, so because so she has a birthday coming up next week. If I don't
Nothing.
get a call, then
if she doesn't call, then she's not interested.
That all right. That's all I needed, man. I appreciate you, man.
All right, brother. Later.
Peace.
That's I just I appreciate the call when a motherfuckers in the trenches knows that I'm so not pressed by what somebody of opinion of it is or not opinion of it, is because I know y'all know what, like you can't tell me I don't give a fuck. Nobody who listens can tell me that I don't give a fuck, because I know I do, and I know I show it, and I put myself out there as much as I can. Send me some money, goddammit. Let me go through Dwight. Dwight, bears are fishing and salmon and not dwell on them inside. True. Living in a small town with a very few women should not affect your confidence to lay the 5 bricks. Absolutely. So a lot of times, actually, Rod, the guy who just called, is super adamant about his physical stature. So he goes to the gym and he's super. Come on, motherfucker. What the fuck? Why is it not showing? God damn it. Shit. All right, call. I don't know what happened to the phone. The phone's acting up again. Shit. But the thing is, so here's the analogy. If you want to be in shape and you don't have a home gym, you gotta go to the gym. And no matter how far the gym is, you gotta go there. Because if you don't work out, you don't stay in shape. Trust me, I know my big ass is lazy as shit. I'm not perfect. God damn it, why is this not working? Shit. Let me see this thing. Chat. God, it's not coming up. I have no idea why this is not working. Can't even answer this motherfucker. Here we go again. I apologize, y'all. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Maybe the internet is... Nah, internet should be working fine. Let me shut this down. See if I can bring it up again. Let's close this one down. Shit. I apologize, y'all. It is Harry's fault. I'm gonna go for a few more minutes anyway, and then we'll figure it out from there. Damn. Still going. I was only gonna do an hour, but y'all got me hyped now. So I'm saving lives today. Saving lives. There we go. All right, let's see if we can get these lines up. Phone line's almost up. Yeah, so there's nuance. You have, and the only way you get to understand the nuance of these things is that you have to be so relaxed and so out of your head, because I say this is why we go back to the same principles over and over again. If you can't let emotion have a seat at the table. If you have emotion have a seat at the table, you whatever proficiency that you have about anything in particular, right? You can reduce your proficiency to 1/3, cut off 2/3 immediately. So if you're talking to some girl and you're afraid, or if you're talking to some guy and you're afraid, or you trying to be honest and you're afraid, you lose all sense of charisma, anything that you're good at. All of a sudden, it's just like anything else. It's like if you're boxing and you're angry or you're afraid of your opponent, man, you're just not going to perform in with the level of proficiency that you would normally do. It just doesn't happen that way. Spirit to Mike, what's up? Yeah, I know. Thank you, bro. I'm keeping it rolling. We got it. We're in here. I mean, I'm up, man. I gotta jump on a flight tomorrow morning, first thing. I'm heading out to do comedy in St. Louis. So I'll be out there. We are an hour and 23 minutes in. I think I'm gonna try to take one more call. If we can take one more call, that would be good. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I wasted so much time but I mean, I think I think everything is a lesson. Everything is a lesson. It's just, even when we talk about, and if Benny, if you're listening, man, I ain't mad at you. I don't have space for that either. I think that just righteousness, it's just, but what I mean by that is you gotta be righteous from your side, but it also means that means like friendship and righteousness is conditional. I'm not saying you act unrighteously, but you don't, like, I would never, big shouts to Benny, because Benny was in a real fuck situation. He was in a relationship with a very abusive woman who didn't care about, all she cared about was her marks. I want to be married by this time. I want the house by this time. I want the this by this time. I want that by, right. And she didn't care. She didn't give a damn about him or what he wanted or his happiness. And so, I'm really happy that I was able to help him. But I was saying to him that it has to be, you just can't love somebody unconditionally. They have to give back. And that goes for anything. Even if we're talking about your relationship with your parents, you can't go your life with people just disrespecting you and treating you like trash, because it lowers your self-esteem, and nobody deserves that. You don't deserve that from nobody. Y'all want to book a session? You know how to get me. DanteNero.com. You can click on consult. Y'all know how to do that. What else? Let me don't forget the Patreon, because the Patreon, I'm really doing something special with the Patreon this year. The Patreon, when you sign up for the Patreon, you can specifically ask a question on the Patreon, right? Let me put that up on the patreon.com/manschool202. You can and send me a message, and Harry and I will prepare a whole segment on the question that you're asking. So we're going to put out the content. So you're going to control the content, which is over for that. So that's patreon.com/manschool202. Don't forget to like and share. Big shouts, Anthony Cook in the building, $5. Where's my cash register? There it is. Thank you, I appreciate you. Let me put the number up and see if we can get one more call before we close out. So I spend a lot of time on these calls sometimes. I know y'all get mad at me. Shay got mad at me today. She was like, can we move on? I'm like, you right, baby. You right. Well, number's 929-269-4922. Call in. I hope the phones are working. I don't know what happened today. I rebooted these goddamn phones 6 times today. Still gave me a hard time. But it is what it is. Do what we're doing the best we can. And if not, we'll do better next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Everything that's on the Man School page on Instagram, the Man School page on YouTube, my YouTube, Dante Nero, Facebook, everything, X. I'm also on Blue Sky. I'm on TikTok, everything. Check everything out. It's dope. I'm also on Fanbase, and ain't nobody on that motherfucker though, but whatever. Phone number is 929-269-4922. Shit, people calling me and not getting through. If you're not getting through, 9:24. Let me see what the time is. Yeah, somebody called at 9:24 and didn't go through. I'm gonna see if I can call that number. Should I do that? Can't really do that. 9:21. Let me see. Let me see if it'll go through. Oh shit! What up? This is Dante. Who's speaking?
What's up, man? It's Anthony or Ant.
What up, man? How can I help you?
I called him. No help, man. I just wanted to for some comments. Especially that last call, it seems like it was his first day doing the 5 bricks.
Yeah.
Kind of those typical fears, right? Like,
hey, I can't. Can you hear me? Shit. It's cutting off. God damn it. I think we're going to shut it down. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I got phone ringing in the background. So annoying. Let me see. Yeah. I think we're going to shut this down, dog. Please, I'm going to go live Sunday, definitely. We'll make it happen. Hour and a half. And I'm sorry that things didn't move. But I think we got some good stuff in. And don't forget, DanteNero.com. Click on consult for the consultation. Don't forget the Patreon. Like I said, we're doing special shows for the Patreon members. Patreon.com/manschool202. Also, like and subscribe and share. Thank y'all. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? The sexual revolution is being podcasted. Yo, I love y'all, man. Thank you so much. I will reboot everything and have it nice and clean. The nice, clean broadcast for next time. Sorry for all the trouble. I love y'all, man. Please. I love y'all, man. Thank you. I want y'all all to have true happiness. Peace. We out of here.